Sometimes I get criticized for spending so much time creating master copies, but I am convinced that this practice has a huge impact on the development of professional skills and is absolutely essential in the process of learning classical oil painting. I believe this topic is very relevant for all of us, so I'd like to talk about it today. My name is Nick, this is my art channel, and let's get started. First of all, it's worth noting that the practice of copying has a very long tradition, dating back to the Renaissance, and probably even earlier, but we won't be talking about the Middle Ages today, because that's too far removed from us. So, during the Renaissance, the process of learning the craft began as follows. When young boys arrived at an artist's workshop, the first task they faced, the first exercise that marked the start of their creative journey, was copying their master's drawings. First, they learned to copy images of facial features, eyes, nose, mouth, ears, then moved on to drawing heads, hands, feet, and finally the entire body, and only after that did they begin drawing from life. In general, the topic of the Renaissance master's teaching system is very broad and interesting, and deserves a separate discussion. So if you are interested in this, write in the comments and I'll make a separate video on this topic. For now, I'll just say that the process of copying preceded drawing from life and prepared artists for it. The great Leonardo, by the way, studied in the same way. We even have his master copies of drawings by Andrea del Verrocchio, the artist in whose workshop Da Vinci learned the craft of drawing and painting. So you see, the practice of copying is not a whim, not some absurd idea, but a time-tested system that has nurtured hundreds of great artists. But what makes this system so good, and what exactly can creating master copies teach us? Well, first of all, it's a wonderful opportunity to study art history, to study it in practice, deeply and thoroughly. Because in the process of creating a copy, we immerse ourselves in the relevant era. We become acquainted not only with a specific work of art, but we begin to understand the artist's style, his manner of painting, his life, his taste in art. We get to know his worldview. For us, the master copy becomes a kind of window into his life. Second, the practice of copying cultivates good taste, and good taste in art is incredibly important. We absorb what surrounds us. It shapes us and has a huge influence of our own creativity. That's why it's so important to study high-quality fine art, listen to high-quality music, and watch high-quality films. This forms very high standards within a person which they naturally begin to strive to meet. The next reason why copying is such a useful exercise is that we have a unique opportunity to learn directly from the great masters of the past. Imagine, for example, that you are a young musician who wants to learn the craft from a great performer who, first of all, charges an enormous fee for a lesson, one that is completely out of reach for the average person, and secondly lives on the other side of the world. Given these circumstances, let's be honest, the chances that this young musician will be able to study with their idol are slim. We as painters have a great advantage here, because through copying we can learn not just from the great masters, but even from the great masters who left this mortal world centuries ago. Can you imagine what a unique opportunity this is? In the process of painting, we constantly face a huge number of different problems. Problems of composition, tonality, color, realistic representation of skin tones, a huge number of problems. We all know them very well. So, creating master copies gives us a clear understanding of how the great masters solved each of these problems. We accumulate a sort of repertoire of solutions from which we can later choose the ones we want. We will already have options to choose from. We'll already have this in our arsenal. We will already know, for example, how Velázquez solved the problems of realistically depicting facial skin, and how that differs from Rubens' method, for instance. We will know what compositional solutions Caravaggio, for example, applied in his large works, and how Michelangelo or Raphael or anyone else handled these same challenges. You understand that the legacy of classical painting is tremendous, and there is something to learn from every artist. And we have this opportunity. We can become students of Veronese, Leonardo, Titian, Van Dyck, Vermeer, absolutely anyone among the greats. And it would be simply criminal not to take advantage of such a unique opportunity. Now I would especially like to highlight one very important, perhaps even the most important, lesson we can learn from the practice of copying the old masters. We learn from them how to interpret reality, how to create the illusion of depth and three-dimensionality on a flat surface, a canvas or wooden board. Imagine you are just starting out your creative journey. You bought oil paints a week ago, and someone tells you, paint the portrait from a live model. That's an absolutely impossible task, absolutely. And yet creating master copies prepares us for this, teaching us the techniques and methods that will allow us to accurately depict on canvas what our eyes see. And in conclusion, I'd like to mention one more benefit of the practice of copying. Studying paintings and creating master copies gives us a keen eye. We, as it were, build and enrich a library of scenes, images, stories, means of artistic expression, and this is very useful. Very much so. Summing up all of the above, we can confidently say that copying is an indispensable exercise in the process of mastering the craft and art of classical painting. However, master copies must be done thoughtfully and competently, otherwise they will be of no use. But we will talk about that in the next episode. For now, as always, I wish you all the very best and say goodbye.